Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy February. The shortest month of the year. Does anybody have any questions before we get started? It's on page 55 in your book. There's a link to the questions here. Oh, sorry, Tristan. You've already turned it in. These are the questions. So we'll talk about that Wednesday. Please get your student ID and create a Writing Center account if you have not already done so, because that gives you access to the library online. These are upcoming exercises, so the mind map should be turned in by midnight tonight. You're going to read shitty first drafts, and then Thursday, first draft of the cover letter and resume. So this week we'll continue discussing how to format those and what information to put in them. All right. Julian, did you figure out what the mind map is? Remember, we went to Canva, you pick out a mind map. You don't have to do it on Canva. It's just one potential. You could do, somebody I think is doing a PowerPoint, whatever works for you. You want to create your own, as long as it's a visual representation of mapping out your ideas brainstorming wise. Okay. So we've already talked about how to get started on your cover letter, right? How to introduce yourself in the first paragraph. So some of you have not yet shared your opening paragraphs. So if you have not already, please take your opening paragraph in the comments. And then we had started to talk a little bit on Thursday about moving on to the next paragraph, right? And that one focuses on using keywords and phrases from the job advertisement, matching them up with skills you have. You guys did that exercise. We didn't quite get a chance to look over it. We got through one group. So I had you nominate somebody in your group. So if your group has not already gone, I would also like to see which keywords and phrases you picked out from the job posting. So does anybody have any questions about those two in the first paragraph and the second paragraph that we've been talking about? No, we're good. Okay. So I'll take either an opening paragraph or I'll take your group's keywords and phrases. Come on, someone, anyone. Everybody have a good weekend. Yeah. Not too bad, cold. Anybody where you got a lot of snow? We got freezing rain here. I'm in Shiloh. Shiloh, Illinois, my peeps outside of the country. All right, what are some keywords and phrases you're thinking about using in your cover letter to get the job poster's attention? Okay, thank you, Isabella. Motivated is a good one. Flexible, fun, especially with the one Isabella's talking about. You get to be a teacher of younger children. Yeah, good with children, yeah. Dedicated, right? So yeah, especially when you want, there's a job you really want, it pays to put a little extra time into like looking at those keywords and phrases. Okay, Maria. So let's look at somebody else's example post. Second. So here's one for a recent graduate. Let me share it with you guys just a sec here. Here's the link. You want to save it for later to go back and refer to it. So this is the section where they're putting in keywords and phrases, a solid educational foundation, organizational development, employee training, okay, technology, right? Building rapport. So you can see how they've picked out the keywords. I said it's okay if you want to use a few bullet points, just don't replace them with all the paragraphs, okay? And then you'll move to your concluding paragraph, which we hadn't talked a whole lot about yet, which should have a call to action in it. I really recommend it be like this one. Please feel free to call me at this or email me here, because that means they don't have to go look up your information. It's right there. If they liked your cover letter, if they looked at your resume and they're thinking about doing an interview, don't give them an excuse to have to go look something up. Put that information right there and you might be more likely to get the interview. All right, let's go to another one. Okay. Here's the link for this one. Posted in the chat. So like we talked about, I'm ready to apply for this position. They mentioned a little bit about the company, right? I have a significant background in media, so that might be one of the keywords that they were looking at in their advertisement. Okay. We developed a pitch, an advertisement campaign for a local nonprofit, so they're looking at their real world experience. Here we go. Strong writing skills are frequently mentioned. That's why it's good to put a lot of time and attention into making your writing skills stronger, because 80% I think of the job positions I see these days are asking for strong writing skills. Attention to detail, that's another one phrase I see often in job postings. And that goes back to that, remember, if they put an Easter egg in the advertisement, make sure you read all the way through in case they want you to put in the subject line trees or something like that, to make sure that you read the whole thing. That gives them a way to weed out all of the people they don't have to look through their cover letter if they didn't follow the directions. Okay. And then the concluding paragraph, I'm excited about the opportunity to join your team in center of the print media conversation. Thank you for your time and consideration. Like I said, I would still, please feel free to contact me and include your phone number or your email, because people have different ways they like to contact you, right? NLA, yeah, confidence, sharp memory, excellent service. Yeah, excellent is one. Chemical engineer, responsibility, intelligence, compromise. That's interesting. Take risks. Chemical engineer and take risks. You may have to explain that one a bit more to me. That sounds a little scary, but no. Yeah, that could be like for experimentation purposes or thinking outside the box. That's another one I see a lot. Okay. How is everybody feeling about drafting the cover letter? Do you feel like you know what you're doing? Do we need to go over more examples, or you kind of have an idea? Now, this is just for the draft, right? Thursday is the first draft. So you'll put it all together. Then on Thursday, we'll break up into groups. You will read at least two, both the cover letter and the resume, and give them feedback. Would you hire this person? Is there anything there that might make you consider not hiring this person? You might want to let them know. You're looking at it sort of like it's somebody on the outside of their head. Don't underestimate the value of being somebody on the outside of the writing, because many times we think people understand things just the way that we do, and that's not always true. So it's really valuable to have some peer review. Okay. Yes. Good, Key. It's just for the experiments. Yeah. So you're not doing any risky chemical things. Yeah. So this is your last chance to ask for any examples or feedback on the cover letter. I think the last concluding paragraph is pretty self-explanatory, but does anybody want to go over that? Or can we move on to the resume formatting? What do you think? Yeah, I'll probably knock it back to Wednesday. It's a very, very short essay. It's not too long, but it'll give you some more time. I'll move that after class. I'll give you till Wednesday at midnight to turn in the questions. Just have it read for tomorrow so we can talk about it. Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and the next thing I'd like to do is I'd like to get a writing sample from you guys. And so it's not on Brightspace yet. I'm gonna post it after class, or probably while you guys are working on it. But I'd like to just see a little sample of your writing. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna practice a brainstorming technique at the same time. So we talked about like writing the grocery list, right? To find out what you know about a topic. We talked about the clustering exercise. So now I'm going to have you guys write what's called a zero draft. Okay. So what you're going to do is basically I'm going to give you 10 minutes to write about your dream job. Okay. Now, don't worry about spelling or grammar or punctuation. I mean, just do the best you can. The idea behind this is just to generate content, to sort of see what your thinking is about what your idea of a dream job would be. Okay, whether it's owning your own company or being a personal chef or a personal trainer or whatever it is, see what your brain wants to say about the job that you'd like to do that you would find most rewarding. Okay, it can go, this is what we call a free writing. Free meaning I don't pick on you for your grammar, your spelling, your punctuation, okay, or anything like that. Now, you know, do the best you can. Please give me some punctuation. It's really hard to read things without it. So periods and commas, yes, but don't worry about it if you're not quite sure if a comma goes a certain place right now. I'm gonna put a link on Brightspace to submit it while you guys are writing it. It'll come up and I will share the assignment after we come back in 10 minutes. Okay, so what you're going to do is you can open a Word document, Word, Google, and write for 10 minutes on your dream job. Any questions? All right, go ahead and open your document and get started, and we will come back at 8:30 and start looking at some resume examples. Okay, if you have any questions in the meantime, you can type them in the chat and I will respond. All right, I'll give you some time to work on it. Start writing. Okay. I went ahead and added the assignment, so I'm going to show you on Brightspace. It's just like the others. You're going to go to Brightspace. Go down to where the list of assignments is here underneath the announcements, right? This is the assignment I want you to turn it in under today by midnight, 0 draft free writing. You just click on it and it'll give you a place to upload it. Any questions? All right, then let's look at how to write the resume portion of your application, right? So this is an example. Something recent that they've started to go to is called a career objective. This one calls it a resume objective. Essentially what it is an opening short statement on what it is that you're seeking to do, a little bit about yourself, but it's the abbreviated summary version of what would be on your cover letter, and it hits the highlights. So in this case, recent college graduate with degree in political science, designed and led a statewide polling project in New York to gauge public opinion on tort reform, seeking to leverage 3.88 GPA and data analysis expertise and to obtain political science research assistant position. Okay, Claire, just turn in your paragraph on Brightspace. Go down to the bottom where the links are to the assignments, or hit assignments and go to the one called 0 draft. And you got until the end of today to turn it in. Okay, there's lots of different formatting. So remember we looked at Canva for the mind map. Canva is also a great place to find resume templates. So if you go to Canva and search for resume, again, it'll bring up all of these potential templates. You can look over and see. Some people include their pictures. Some people don't want to do that. It's up to you. There are some with or without. So you click on one you like, and then you replace your information. There's different formatting methods. You might want to find one that plays up the skills that you have. Like you may have more work experience, so this one has that first. But as a graduate, you may not have as much work experience. Okay, so you can also search for things like graduate, like recent graduate resume, and see if they have anything like that. Let's see. They've changed their search slightly. Let's click on one. So this has a little bit less space under the work experience. Here's the contact information is really nice in front and center. Here you can search the templates. See if some of these are more appealing to you. So there's just different layouts. It depends on which one that you like. Milos, if you go to the home page for Brightspace and you go down to the calendar, this is the 0 draft assignment. Are you guys able to see it? Or do I need to hit another button? Okay, then I may not have made it visible. I will work on that whole after class. They just revised the way that we post assignments through Brightspace. They changed the posting method. So I guess there's probably some button I haven't hit to make it visible to you guys. So I will do that. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so you pick out the one that you like, and then you can kind of fill it in according to which ones, you know, you think best fit your qualifications, your personality, and then you also want to think about what kind of company are you applying for. If you're a fashion designer, your resume is probably not going to be this plain and sort of, you know, boring, right? But sometimes boring is good if you're going for a very traditional company, maybe a law firm that's been in existence for 200 years or something like that. You guys follow me? You kind of want to think about your profession also and matching your style to what might be. I think you can do specific resumes sometimes for jobs, like fashion resume. So here's some. They've got academic resumes, acting, college, colorful, corporate. I don't know if they have fashion. We'll try it. Customer service rep, no. But some of them are going to be, let's look at creative. So hopefully they should give you some choices. Some of them have bar graphs like these, if you prefer that have your expertise like levels in the bar graph. Photography, illustration, writing, they've got these kinds of, you know, visuals. So there's lots of options. Just make sure that it's easily readable on a screen, because that's the way a lot of people are looking at these. So let's talk about the career objective part of it first. So basically it can be something like recent graduate, like the example we were looking at. Hold on. Recent graduate with a degree in civil engineering or chemistry or whatever. Something that gives an idea of your experience, whether you did interned at Monsanto on a project that did this, graduated with honors. You know, it doesn't have to be very long, just a little bit to showcase you. Okay. So let's look at examples here. So all of these are potential the examples that you can use depending on what kind of position you're applying for. Excuse me. Counterattack. Okay. But basically your career objective should be at the top usually. And it's just a concise, compelling introduction to your resume. Okay. It sort of highlights why they should pick you over everybody else. You're going to keep it short. I'm going to post this link in the chat too. Because it's a nice guide to why you write it, how you write it. So this is the link I'm looking at. So here's another example. I'm a diligent customer service provider with 6 years of experience in the IT sector. You guys may have more experience, like, you know, I spent intensive study on a certain area of, you know, criminal justice, you know, You're going to highlight the skills that you have with your education as opposed to your jobs, if you haven't had a lot of jobs that apply to what you're applying for. Be honest, make it specific to each role. Okay. So you don't want it to be vague. Having worked as a career manager for some time in the accounting industry, I'm looking forward to working in an organization that's larger and more renowned than my previous employer. Never ditch your previous employer. It always makes them, okay. You don't want to have anything bad to say about anything, that could suggest that you're a difficult person to work with, even if the previous organization was bad. Okay.